Okay, so with our book, Keyboard Musicianship, Book 1, we are working now on page 25. On page 24, you have solo repertoire to work on. Please follow the steps as you work on those pieces. Honor the slurs and the dynamics. Remember breaks in between or after slurs. We'll let you work on that on your own. Today we're working on page 25, Gentle Leaves. This piece introduces tied notes. Tied notes consist of a curved line joining two or more notes of the same pitch. The duration is that of the combined note values. So we see that within the piece we have mostly slurs for the right hand and left hand equal. At the end of the piece, though, is where we find our tied notes. The tied note is a C, middle C, tied to another middle C, and of course the tie crosses the bar over the bar line. Okay, so we'll talk about that when we get there. Let's go ahead and clap the rhythm on our laps. Here we go. This is in 3/4 time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Release. Okay. So we've now clapped and counted the rhythm. It's now time to clap and say the note names. We'll simply work with the melodies and not the accompanying intervals. Okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. D, A, G, A, F, D, A, G, A, C, F, G, F, A, C, F, A, B. 3. D, A, G, A, F, D, A, G, A, C, A, G, A, C, with an interval of fifth and F, 2, 3. Very good. It is now time to play the melody, say the note names as we do so, and we'll simply add the left-hand intervals at the same time. If you are not able to put both hands together, please practice one hand at a time while counting. There we go. Our position is in F position for the left hand, and the right hand we are in D position. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. D, A, G, A, F, D, A, G, A, C, F, G, F, A, C, F, A, B, D, A, G, F, D, A, F, D, A, G, A, C, A, G, A, C, F. So notice at the last couple of measures when we tie these notes on both hands, for the left hand at the last measure while we are tying these notes, we come down on F for 1, 2, 3, a dotted half note. Let's now go ahead and play this through. Remember to honor the slurs. No breaks until after the end of that slur of those phrases. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. release. Very good. Now, this one requires a little bit of analysis. At the bottom of this page, 25, we have 3 questions. So the first question is, what are accompanying intervals? First, think about the word accompanying, or to accompany. We have worked on accompaniment before, so think about what is supporting, or what notes are supporting the melody. In order to do that, we must first identify the melody. Melody usually is one note at a time. In this example, the melody switches from the right hand to the left hand every other measure. It is also notes under slurs. So what notes in this music do not count as melody and are accompanying intervals? We'll talk about that at lesson. Number 2, what is the melodic interval which begins phrases 1, 2, and 3? So what that is referring to, melodic interval, is the distance between the first 2 notes of every phrase. Remember, a phrase is where we begin our slur. So that's a phrase, 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 phrase. Always at the beginning of a slur until the end of the slur. So the melodic interval, which begins at the beginnings of 1, 2, and 3, we can see is a very distinct interval. Okay, and the last question, number 3, what do you find when comparing the melody in phrase 1, the right hand, to the melody in phrase 2 for the left hand? So we see melody or phrase number 1 for the measures 1 through 4. That's melody, that's phrase number 1. And phrase number 2 is this. So, what exactly is found here between these 2 melodies? Think about it, and we'll talk a little bit more about what that answer is. So this is a little bit of an introduction into analysis. As we continue with this book, we'll not only be working with the compositions, the accompaniment, the duets, we'll also be learning how to identify specific items. And the term to identify items and talk about it is called analysis. So be prepared for that, and we'll see you at next lesson.